Hello and welcome to episode 12 of Motorsports with Motorhead. I am your host, Captain Motorhead. Wow, this is going to be a fun episode, folks. First off, want to say congratulations to the iRacing team for their successful launch of NASCAR 25. I mentioned it last episode, and I did say that by the time I posted again, the game would be out. And that was correct. It did launch just yesterday. Well, for the day that I'm recording this, technically it is today, but oh well. Real cool post by Dale Jr. He actually did the launch commercial. So that was a lot of fun to watch this morning. And it was real nice that they did a little throwback to NASCAR Thunder 2003, as that's one of the games I remember playing growing up myself with Junior on the front cover. So just real fun to see all that. And I'm excited to be able to get the game um, once possible. Who knows? Gonna probably be a little bit. See if maybe it goes on sale for Black Friday or something. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see for that though. But from there, I'm gonna jump right into the racing. I only got two races to talk about this weekend. Uh, First off, being the Xfinity, then of course Cup. There was no Truck Series. Now, for anyone wondering whatever happened to F1, IndyCar, any of that, well, I do plan on doing a complete recap for both those seasons at the end of the NASCAR season. And those will come out after I do a recap. And this is the news I've been talking about. So let's just go ahead and get it out there. I want to go ahead and tell everyone about it. Please spread the news because this will just be a few weeks away. At the very end of the season, I'm going to be having three videos come out one day after another. I'm not going to tell you exactly how long they're going to be. I don't even know. But I will promise you this, each one's going to be an hour, if not longer, because I will be breaking down the entire season for the Xfinity, for the Truck, and for the Cup Series. I guess technically I should have said Truck, Xfinity, then Cup, but yes, all three. Um, Again, not promising how long each episode will be. I just know it's probably going to be longer than an hour because there's no way I'm going to be able to wrap up a whole season within that. I will be talking about how the season ended, my thoughts on the championships. Of course, we're going to have to wait and see how all that plays out uh, to know exactly what will go on there. But that is my plan, and I'm going to be sticking to that. I even made sure to take time off work so that way I will have the time away to do this. Not going to miss out on it, folks. I promise you. I will be here. We will have three episodes out back to back. First one coming out on Saturday. It would be November 1st, as the Truck Series has their championship race Friday, October 31st. And then I will be doing another episode on Sunday, and then a following episode on Monday, all breaking down the seasons for every single series. Then after that, another week or so later, I will make sure to put out one for both IndyCar and F1. Those ones might be in the same video. I haven't exactly decided yet. We'll see how it goes. And then from there, I will have more announcements on what we're going to do for the off season. Because I've already had some people asking me about that. What are your plans? What do you think you're going to be able to accomplish? What are we going to do? Is the channel going to be put on hold? It's not. Just let you know. But I do have more plans, and I will have some announcements in future videos. From there, though, folks, we're going to get right on into it. Xfinity at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. First race in the round of 8. Justin Allgaier starts on the pole position with Connor Zilic in second. All Junior Motorsports front row. Justin Allgaier would go ahead and take the lead. Basically, all would run clean, with Allgaier still leading, but on lap 21, a little bit of a note as a playoff driver, Sam Mayer, comes over the radio talking about losing oil pressure, his oil light even flashing, and loss of a cylinder potentially. Not things you want to hear out of your playoff driver, especially just 21 laps into the race, but a little bit of a spoiler alert, not much would really come of that later on. So, guess he got a little lucky there. Lap 24, we would have our first caution of the day for debris on the track, and most of the field would stay out. With lap 29, we go back to green with Justin Allgaier starting in first and Eric Almirola in second. Jesse Love, who started third, takes it 3 wide going into turn one. He ends up going down to the bottom under Justin, and Eric Almirola would come out for the lead with Jesse Love battling closely with him for just a little bit before Eric would start to pull away. Eric would go on to win stage one. You'd have 4 playoff drivers finishing in the top 10 to be able to get some stage points. In second place was Connor Zilich. Third place, Jesse Love. Fourth place, Justin Allgaier. And eighth place, Sam Mayer. All 4 of them getting some very well playoff points and much needed for Sam Mayer. Lap 53, stage 2 would go green with Jesse Love in first and Eric Almirola in second. Jesse would get a huge push from Austin Hill heading towards turn one, and him and Almirola will be racing side by side from turn one all the way through the first lap, with Almirola ending up with the lead. There was absolutely great racing going on at this point. 2 of them side by side for the entire first lap going into stage 2. I'm telling you, that was phenomenal. And they were almost door to door going through the turns. On lap 55, while battling for second, Connor Zilich and Jesse Love would actually make a little bit of contact while side drafting. Nothing major. One driver kind of went up the track while the other was going down. Just a little bit of a love bump if you really want to think about it. And Jesse Love would end up coming up with second place. Connor Zilich being right behind him, not losing much from the contact at all. Lap 78, Austin Hill would almost go for a spin, all by his lonesome, by the way. He just went down to the apron a little too far, and he was able to catch it. Race staying green. Field was a little bit spread out, but he would only lose 1 position during this little mishap. From there, Eric Almirola would go on to win stage 2 with 5 playoff drivers in the top 10 this time. Second place being Jesse Love. Third place, Connor Zilich. In fourth place was Justin Allgaier. Eighth place, Sam Mayer. And in 10th place, Carson Capel. Absolutely phenomenal to see 5 of our 8 playoff drivers being able to make it a top 10 appearance for stage 2. Stage 3 goes green on lap 99 with Connor Zilich in first and Jesse Love in second. Eric Almirola would restart third. While Connor Zilich was taking the lead, it would be 3 wide for third place. On lap 109, Eric Almirola would end up retaking the lead from Connor Zilich. Lap 143, during the longest green flag run of the night, and the only true caution being due to debris earlier in the race, Jesse Love would end up taking the lead from Eric Almirola, with the top 3 drivers running less than 1 second behind each other. In fact, it was actually less than a sixth of a second for a little while there. Really great to see those top drivers so close together. Shows you just how close they are whenever it comes to their talent as well, though. Especially on these types of tracks. It's real great to see some of these drivers. They just really hold on to it whenever it comes to being able to go in every lap and just give it your all. Connor Zilich, we've really seen out of him this year. Almost always run up in the top 5. He's definitely a contender almost every single race. The amount of effort they put in is ridiculous sometimes, but absolutely phenomenal to watch. Denny Hamlin even talked about on his own podcast. These guys are contenders in every way possible in their lives. And it shows on the track right here just how close they all are. After the pit cycle, Jesse Love would keep the lead with Eric Almirola in second and Connor Zilich in third. On lap 171, while in lap traffic, Connor Zilich would take the lead on lap 20, or with only 29 to go. But wait! Right as he takes the lead, caution comes out for Dean Thompson. He got loose, spun, all on his own, and it would be the second caution for an incident on the track fourth caution of the night. On lap 176, with only 23 to go in the race, the field will go back to green. Connor Zilic in first, Eric Almirola in second. Absolutely great battle for first going into turn one, with neither driver willing to give up the spot. And it's side by side throughout the entire first lap. Absolutely phenomenal. Even if I was going back to rewatch the replays of it all, because I honestly listened to this race, I didn't get to watch it live. Loved it. Absolutely did. Connor Zilic putting on a hell of a show. He would end up taking the lead, but with 9 to go, he would get a little bit loose, have his back end wiggle. He would save it, but give up a lot of time to Eric Almirola, who would actually use this as an advantage to close in and even start to make a pass. As he goes for the pass, though, the two would make some slight contact, causing Connor Zilic to have to check up a little bit to make sure he doesn't wreck out. That would give Eric Almirola the lead, and he would go on to win the race. It was really nice, though, because Connor Zilic, he never gave up. Almost wrecked it with 2 to go, in fact, as he was trying to make one last push on towards Eric. Again, folks, it was just real great driving all day. Close racing throughout the field. You did get a little spaced out from time to time, don't get me wrong. But by golly, did they put on a show. You had 4 playoff drivers finish in the top 10. Second place being Connor Zilic. Third, Justin Allgaier. Sixth, Jesse Love. And ninth place, Sam Mayer. For the playoff standings for Xfinity, we have no one getting a win advantage currently. So you have first place, Connor Zilic, plus 82 points. Second place, Justin Allgaier, plus 44 points. Third place, Jesse Love, plus 20 points. Fourth place, Sam Mayer, plus 8 points. Fifth place, first driver below the cutoff, Brandon Jones, minus 8 points. Sixth place being Sheldon Creed, minus 21 points. And in seventh place, you're looking at Carson Capel with 22 points to the negative. Lastly, eighth place, currently Sammy Smith, minus 24 points. Lots to go still. 3 races left in the season for them. 3 races left for trucks. And 3 races going to be left for Cup. As soon as I'm done talking about it here in just a minute, that is. Still lots to see. I'm excited again to talk about it all at the end. Truly been looking forward to doing those podcasts and already starting to do some of the research for it, going back through some of my old notes. I do keep my notes from every episode. And I'm going to be having to make sure to rewatch every race. Some of it might just be the highlights, but I am going to try and sit down and actually watch as many as I can. Of course, with the allotted time that I currently have, not expecting to watch them all. So there will be some that I just do for the recaps, but not too worried about it. I feel like it's going to be pretty well all the way around. And we're going to have lots, and I mean lots, to talk about. So from there, though, folks, I'm going to go ahead and get right into the Cup Series at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This is their start of the round of 8 as well. Denny Hamlin starts on the pole with Chase Briscoe in second. All JGR front row with Christopher Bell also starting in third, making the top 3 all teammates. Denny Hamlin would get a great start to take the lead with both his teammates in tow, but Chase Briscoe would overtake him before the end of the lap 1. Hamlin said over the radio that he wasn't able to get into 5th gear. This would not go on to affect him throughout the race, however, and we'll get to more of that in just a moment. Due to a long pit stop, Chase Briscoe gives up the lead to William Byron. And while doing green flag pit stops, Chase Elliott would stop a little late in his pit itself, causing his team to have a slightly slower stop than usual. Sadly, it would not be the only mistake for his team on pit road for the day. Caution on lap 72. Poor Ryan Blaney fans. Even I hated to see this, folks. On lap 72, he had his left front tire go down, and there was nothing he could do. He went right up into the wall, totally demolishing his right side and breaking the steering itself. He is a playoff driver. It was only lap 72, first race of the round of 8. And it was the end of the day for him. Now, don't worry, Ryan Blaney fans. No. See, we're going to Talladega next, and after that, Martinsville. He has multiple wins at both tracks, some pretty recent, in fact. So, even with what Denny Hamlin said on his podcast right now, when you're going to Talladega, even Martinsville, you're almost using the same setup as you did last time you were there. It's just all about conditions. So we'll see if the conditions are going to be just right for Ryan Blaney to be able to pull off a win and get his way in to the round of 4. I personally think that that's what's going to end up happening. I have Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, and Ryan Blaney for my final 4 appearances. If somehow it's not Ryan Blaney, then I think it'll be William Byron. We'll have to wait and see, though, folks. All lead lap cars would pit while under caution. And William Byron would lead the field to green with on lap 78 with Kyle Larson in second. Byron would take the lead with 3 to go in the stage. And he would go on to win stage 1, while Kyle Larson and Chase Briscoe fought real hard for second place, even making a little bit of contact right as they were coming up to the line, but it would be Kyle Larson who would outdo him and finish second. You would have all 7 playoff drivers still in the race finish in the top 10. William Byron in, of course, first place, winning the stage. Kyle Larson in second, with Chase Briscoe in third. Denny Hamlin in fourth. Fifth was Chase Elliott. Jump back to 7th place, you got Christopher Bell. And then in 10th was Joey Logano, barely making it into the top 10. He was having a bit of a rough day, folks. Some car handling issues, and he was just complaining kind of nonstop. But was able to get a top 10 for stage 1, so not too bad, obviously. William Byron would lead the field to green on lap 88 for the start of stage 2, with Kyle Larson by his side in second. Chase Briscoe would give Byron a huge shove, and Byron would almost lose it right in front of the field. He would somehow keep it together, though, and him and Larson would go into turn 1 side by side. Yeah, it was crazy to watch. I was sitting on my couch, almost jumped up. I really thought that was going to be it. William Byron almost wrecking. It was the first time he almost wrecked of the day. Notice I said first time, folks. Hint, hint. For those that don't know. Kyle Larson would end up taking the lead. Lap 119 while making green flag pit stops. More problems for the 9 team of Chase Elliott. His right front tire changer would go to throw the tire, kind of like a little bounce throw, over to the catcher that's on the other side of the wall. Now, folks, remember, you're not allowed to have more, I want to say 6 crew members over the wall. And if you do, it's a penalty. So the guy cannot just jump over the wall to be able to grab the tire. No. Sadly, the tire took a wrong bounce, started rolling down into the next pit. Now, per even our announcers in the booth, they were talking about the tire at first was not uncontrolled when it entered the other booth. It was the fact that it took a team member from the other booth to stop the tire that then caused the penalty. It would be a pass-through, and honestly, that would be the end of Chase's day. Kind of devastating. You'd end up being below the cut line by the end of the race. Kyle Larson, though, would go on to win stage 2 with 6 playoff drivers in the top 10. Of course, first being Kyle Larson, Then in third, William Byron. With fourth place, Denny Hamlin. In fifth, you had Chase Briscoe. Sixth, Christopher Bell. And in ninth place, Joey Logano. The only driver still in the race missing from the list, of course, being Chase Elliott due to that mishap on pit road. Kyle Larson would lead the field to green on lap 174 for the start of stage 3, with Tyler Reddick on his outside in second. Denny Hamlin would push Kyle Larson out front. Nice push, showing exactly how fast Denny Hamlin's car still was as well, though. William Byron would take the lead during green flag pit cycle around lap 216, as Denny Hamlin had a slow stop due to a jack issue. You don't want to be seeing that this time of year, folks. And I'll be honest, it wouldn't be what was going to be coming up here soon. I don't think Denny would have had a chance at what ended up happening later on. Lap 232. While leading the race, William Byron gets loose and almost wrecks for the second time of the day. And he gives the race lead up to Kyle Larson. As the booth is talking about his mistake, but also his save, they say, "Oh no, there's a wreck in turn 4. They cut the camera from the replay back to live action. And what do you see but the 24 of William Byron going backwards through the grass, the right side of his car entirely destroyed. Oh no! What on earth happened, you might wonder? Well, they go check out the replay. Ty Dillon going to pit. Some reason pulls back out into the actual racing lane a little bit. William Byron, apparently his crew never told him that Ty was going to be pitting, even though, according to Ty and his crew, they told William Byron's spotter. A little bit of he said, she said action there, folks. Really don't know what happened. Sucks for William Byron. Watching the replay, he absolutely closed in super quick. Nothing he really could have done. And slam right into the back of Ty. Destroyed both cars. And destroyed a great race for William Byron. He was even just talking on the radio right before that they were going to try and muster up another run at Kyle. They thought they had enough time. I mean, we had just about 30 laps to go in the race. He could have done it. But I guess third time's the charm. You don't get away from fate that many times, folks. And quite frankly, it was just Williams' fate to wreck that day. Absolutely horrible to see, though. He as well would end up below the cut line because of this. On lap 244, with just 24 laps to go, Chase Briscoe leads the field to green with Joey Logano in second. Joey Logano and Chase both only took 2 tires during the pit stop while under yellow. Kyle Larson, starting in fourth, is the first on 4 fresh tires. Before we even get into turn 1, there's a wreck as Ty Gibbs and SVG both go spinning. While taking a look at the replay, seems that both Ty Gibbs and Christopher Bell were going for the same hole at the same time, making contact, sending Ty up into SVG, causing the both of them to spin. Somehow, Christopher Bell got through pretty much unscathed. And throughout all the contact, Justin Allmendinger would end up going for a spin as well. He would be able to continue his day, though. Well, the other two, not as much. That would lead to yet another caution. On lap 253, with just 14 to go, Chase Briscoe leads the field back to green again with Joey Logano in second. Chase Briscoe would go on to take the lead. And with just 5 laps to go, with a hard-charging Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin behind him, racing for second and third, Denny would get around Larson and set his eyes on Chase. With just 4 laps to go, Denny Hamlin would end up getting around Chase Briscoe, with Kyle Larson not too far behind. But Larson is unable to muster up enough to make it to Denny, and Hamlin would end up going on to win his 60th career victory, also sealing his place in the Final Four for 2025's NASCAR's champion. Wow. Absolutely crazy, folks. He even did it in a purple and blue car, similar to what he drove whenever he was back as a rookie in his fire suit was eerily resemblant of that of his original. So to be in that type of vehicle with that fire suit, get your 60th career win, tying him for 10th on the all-time list, by the way. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Congratulations, Mr. Hamlin. Seriously. That is something that not everybody can do. I've heard him talking about it this year throughout as he was nearing 60. If there's even anyone else in the field that can do it. And right now, honestly, no. It's not looking like it. Even those like Kyle Larson would have to have some amazing seasons to be able to put up 60 wins on the board like Mr. Hamlin has done. So, seriously, applause to you, sir. Absolutely phenomenal. And from what he has said, from what was said on the air, if you watched it, you saw it. There was lots of emotions. It meant a lot to him. Sadly, there are things going on in his personal life, something to do with his own father. And so it made this more emotional for him. And at this point, I'm honestly going to say, guys, I'm on the Denny bandwagon. Let's go. Let's have him get his championship this year. He's got his 60th win. One of the most winning drivers on the list to not have a championship. I'd like to see that changed. I think at this point this year, he deserves it. And the way how he raced this last few weeks, he's really given it his all. He's putting it all on the line. It worked out for him here. He can be able to go through the next two races a little bit more cushion to him. You know, some comfort there. No matter what happens, he's in. He can do good on that last race. That's it, folks. He could be a champion. I think it'd be absolutely crazy to see. But we'll have to wait just a few more weeks to find out if that's what happens. He had a phenomenal burnout, by the way. And then even had a burnout to victory lane. Yep, burned it all the way down towards victory lane. And then even once in victory lane, continued to do a burnout. Pretty cool. And honestly, much deserved again, sir. Absolutely phenomenal. You're not always going to hear me give him much praise, but I'm honestly glad that there was no boos out in the stands. Everyone was celebrating this win with him. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is racing. Phenomenal. I love to see it. Let's see what happens next. Playoff standings. Denny Hamlin with a win advantage. In second place, you have Kyle Larson plus 35 points. Third place, Christopher Bell plus 20 points. Fourth place, Chase Briscoe plus 15 points. In fifth place is William Byron with a DNF minus 15 points. Guess it's a good thing he did well in stage 1 and 2, or he would be further down the list. Chase Elliott, due to that penalty on pit road, looking at a sixth place right now with negative 23 points. Joey Logano taking up seventh place with negative 24 points. Be honest with you, folks, that's the only one I love seeing below the cut line. Any other guys can be able to make it in the championship four, and I'd be happy at this point because they've all been putting on a hell of a season. But, just not a huge Logano fan. But in eighth place, Ryan Blaney with a DNF minus 31 points. Again, though, for you Ryan Blaney fans out there, don't worry too much. We are headed to two tracks that he is absolutely phenomenal at. I do see him making it to the final four. I would be truly shocked if he does not. Next race, as I've said, Talladega. It's going to be for the Craftsman, the Xfinity, and the Cup Series. The round of 8 continues. That's going to do it, folks. That was all. Just those two races. Talking a little bit about the NASCAR game. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but for those of you that can please remember, to like and subscribe, plus turn on notifications so you can be one of the first to know when I do post a new video. Until next time, folks, y'all stay safe and have a good one.